your time has expired. Senator Waters.
Thanks very much, Mr Acting Deputy President. I rise to speak on the Mineral Resources Rent Tax Repeal Bill. And the mining tax clearly has its problems, but these problems should be solved by strengthening it, not by ripping it up. When something is broken, you fix it. You don't throw it out. And the fact that we must speak today against the repeal of the mining tax is testament to the fact that this government is totally in the pocket of the big mining companies. In fact, it's a wonder that this government doesn't just abolish the parliament entirely and put Xstrata, BHP, Rio overtly in control of the country, rather than just covertly in control. Only this government would say that we have a budget crisis and then seek to axe a revenue-raising measure. I must have missed that memo where it said that black was in fact white. I certainly missed the memo that said even though the government contends that the mining tax isn't working, it's somehow also simultaneously hurting the mining companies. And I clearly missed the memo which says that the government is smarter than all of the expert economists who actually say that we do need a mining super profits tax. Prime Minister Abbott and his associates must somehow know better than all the experts. Perhaps they've attained infinite wisdom somewhere along the way. Just last week, economics editor Ross Gittins pointed out that most of the profits, it's more than 80% of the profits earned by the mining industry, flow overseas to foreign shareholders. Those profits aren't spent in Australia, and that means, of course, that the mining industry actually adds surprisingly little to the domestic jobs market. But despite the potential of a mining super profits tax to reinvest the wealth that's generated by mining back into the Australian economy, the all-knowing coalition MPs remain steadfast in their opposition to it. Their stubbornness is an inspiration to mules, to grease stains and to rusted window latches everywhere. Congrats, guys. Now that the government knows everything and no longer needs to listen to the advice of experts, I look forward to a neoliberal utopia where the rich get richer and where our children can't afford to buy a house. But I think that the mining industry themselves actually deserves congratulations. Over the past year, mining companies operating in Australia have received billions in direct government subsidies and tax concessions. Congratulations, Gina. Congratulations, Clive. Congratulations, Twiggy. I know it wasn't much of a surprise.
You should refer to members in the other place by their appropriate title, Senator Waters.
Thank you, Acting Deputy President. How could we forget? Congratulations, Mr Palmer. I know it wasn't much of a surprise since your industry receives several $1 billion of subsidies in government support every year. But on the plus side, all of that free money will make it easier to justify buying your 5th private yacht. I should also congratulate you on your success as salespeople, and I can see what we're getting under the skin of the government here.
Oh, must have hit a raw nerve, eh?
Indeed. In fact, the mining industry has sold the Australian public an utter falsity. Somehow you've convinced us that your economically unsustainable industry deserves billions of taxpayer-funded dollars to prop it up, but that when you make billions of dollars, that you deserve to keep it for yourself instead of paying back that money and the mineral resources that we, the Australian people, have given to you. Congratulations. If home shopping companies were half as good at self-promotion as the mining industry, every household in the country would have a kitchen full of Wonder Knives and an ab swing in the lounge room. Congratulations. Private investors are reaping the rewards of our resources boom, and money that should instead have been used to build railways and hospitals will be instead used to pay for private jets and replicas of the Titanic. The current government's approach to mining is short-sighted and economically unsustainable. Foreign-owned companies are trashing our natural environment, selling our resources and leaving us with very little in exchange. The experts say that the mining super profits tax would actually promote job creation. The moguls who run the mining industry aren't putting the Australian public before their own private interests. That's our job as representatives of the people here in Parliament. So until this government removes the charade, abolishes the Parliament and just puts BHP, Rio and Xstrata in charge of everything, we Greens will continue to fight for a fair share, for the people of Australia from the resources that they indeed own. Foreign-owned mining companies, frankly, are ripping us off, and this government is letting it happen. And that's how the tax was designed. It was designed to fail because the mining companies wrote it that way. After an advertising campaign which toppled a Prime Minister and shredded the resource super profits tax, the big mining companies actually wrote their own tax rules. Well, if individuals could write their own tax rules, the country wouldn't have any money. Xstrata, Rio and BHP, as we know, wrote their own rules, and so they changed the rate. They changed the 40% rate to an effective 22.5% rate. They changed the minerals that the tax would apply to just coal and iron ore. No word of any of the other minerals that, of course, the Henry Tax Review had originally recommended should be covered by this tax. And, of course, if these companies aren't making super profits, then they won't pay the tax.
It being 2 p.m, debate is interrupted. We move to questions without notice. Before doing so, Senator Abetz.
Thank you, Mr President. I seek